I'm going to show you how to draw Little Joe today. So pull up a chair, set a spell, get your pencils and your paper, and let's draw. Okay. First thing you want to do is know where on the paper you're going to draw. All right, kids. Now I'm going to show you how to draw Charlie Pincher. Remember, Charlie appeared in The Star of Christmas, but he also had a little part in Little Joe. He played a prospector. Now, Charlie isn't just a simple cucumber shape. He's kind of a scallionish character. So,
the story, it was, just seemed almost too obvious to not thought of before, but retelling the story of Joseph and the coat of many colors as a Western.
With both Phil and I, we were both huge fans of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical.
We had a guy named Bob Lee who did the writing for this show.
We had to decide, what is the lesson in Little Joe? Is it perseverance? Is it faithfulness? What is it? And we realized it's mostly faithfulness, and that's what we tried to focus for Bob as he was writing, because he was writing really, really funny stuff. It's always the teaching side of a script that you try to infuse in there. It's a little more difficult.
Phil took a day, polished it, did a few things to it, and we came out with a really good script.
It made me laugh.
The story of Joseph in the Bible is Joseph's brothers end up putting him in a pit and selling him to some desperados. When he goes to Egypt, which in our case is Dodgeball City, he is basically sold to this keeper of this pizza place, which is Potiphar. In the Bible story, of course, he's sold into Potiphar's house and gets into trouble with Potiphar's wife. And so we set up the same sort of a similar tension or a problem for Joseph in the pizza place between he and his kitty.
She sets him up, just like Potiphar's wife in the Bible set up Joseph. And as Joseph ended up in jail, so does Little Joe end up in the county jail.
In jail, our hero, our Little Joe, interprets the dreams of the baker and the blacksmith. And in the Bible, that's almost exactly like the Bible story where he interprets the dreams of two prisoners that he's in prison with. One of them being a servant to Pharaoh. And that servant to Pharaoh ends up getting out of jail and going back and serving in Pharaoh's house. So we follow very similar to the Bible story there. The mayor is the same as the Pharaoh character in the Bible. And he interprets the dream of the mayor and shows how to save the city, which is just what Joseph did for Pharaoh, and showed him how to save the country. In the Bible story, ultimately, Joseph didn't just save the country, but wound up saving his own family who were starving in Israel and came to Egypt and to be able to have food. And we do the same thing with ours.
We had to take some differences. We wanted to make it feel Western, like when Joseph has his dream at the beginning. In the Bible, you remember, he dreamed that there were bundles of wheat that were all bowing down to him. And we thought, that doesn't sound very Western. And we got to choose Western things. We got, armadillos, we got horseshoes, we got cactuses. We'll have him dream about cactuses, so that's why his dream is about cactuses. Now, when the mayor has his dream, in the Bible, Pharaoh had the dream about the 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows. And we thought about that for a while, and you can't get much more Western than that.
When we're designing a character or a prop or location, we start off very realistic. And then we start to Veggietales things. So there are no perfect 90-degree angles. There's no straight lines. Everything's a little cockeyed. And if we're working on a location or set design, there are no straight lines. It's like creating like a perfect set and then twisting it and bending it, melting a part of it, and pushing a part up and pushing another part down. And then that's our veggie world.
It seems like another little gem. It's like a classic Veggietales story. And we've never done a Western. And Larry looks great in a cowboy hat.
Maybe I know your eyes see right through my disguise, and no one can deny.
I wanted to do a boy band, song. I didn't start off being a boy band song. The lyrical hook that just came to me as I was thinking about this was, baby, I know your eyes see right through my disguise, and I wrote that down, and I just looked at it and thought, that's just really cheesy, and it just hit me. It's so boy band. So I thought it would be great to take that and throw it into a boy band concept. And so we start off with, and it's so different from any other kind of silly song that we've done before. And so I think for it to really work, we had to do it like a polished MTV piece.
So one of the first things I did was got in touch with our babysitter, Kayleen, and borrowed all of her boy band CDs. So I had 98 Degrees and In Sync. I was listening to the styles. What sounds do they use? How does it just scream boy band from the start to the end? And then, of course, my inspiration was Joey here. Picked him up, and I got a matching Joey for Mike, so we can both be inspired as we're writing.
Nobody but dead. It's why I am so blue. When I was 5, I lost my kite. Loved basketball, but lacked the height. And now my favorite pants are tight. What am I to do? That's why I'm blue. Peanuts! Get your hot roasted peanuts! We're here! Oh, little Joe! Oh, little Joe! We need some pretzels over here, a pizza over there. Oh, little Joe! Oh, little Joe! Let's see that party by the door, then go park Benny's mare. A year ago, my life was going absolutely fine. Then my brothers got together, threw me down a mine. But every day I'll do my best as long as I am here. When life hands you a lemon, just have some more root beer. Little Joe, little Joe, little Joe. When life hands you a lemon, just have some more root beer. When life hands you a lemon, just have some more root beer. Little Joe.
Joe, me boy, it looks like another record.
Well, your business had sound fundamentals, sir, but your inventory management standards didn't reflect current best practices for the hospitality industry.
I don't understand your crazy moon language. I've got a great surprise for you.
Really? For me? Sorry, he calls.
Then 7 scrawny ones came along and goped the big fat cow.
Why, that is most peculiar. Oh, what would you say? Something gastrointestinal?
Sorry.
Then I dreamt I was in front of a large group of people in my underwear. What's that about? Come on, start interpreting. You first.
Then, Dimitri 7, your relationship is your love. Your offense at an extreme case is a patient may become so delusional, he may project his fear of lifestyle onto the canvas of his super ego. I got nothing.
My sinuses feel me. Chickens are clucking. I know what that means. Need tea? I made it with my socks.
Looks like you're up.
You got over on me, Fraulein. Word around the streets is that they fired you.
Welcome to Big Idea Productions. I'm Phil Vischer. This is a chair you might sit on if you came to visit. This is the movie update because Jonah is in theaters even as we speak, and so we have to tell people how it's doing, and it's doing great, so that's what we're telling them. This is Dan Phillips' old office, and for 2 years he had this sign up that said, "We will finish this movie," and then we changed it to "Did finish the movie," and this is his other famous quote, "You never really finish, you just run out of time." But we finished the movie. Okay, follow me. Okay, this is an editing room. We're going to sneak in and see an actual film actually being edited. There's an actual editor. What are you actually editing, editor?
Working on the Ballad of Little Joe. Some exciting stuff.
What is that? Is it a SpongeBob episode? What is that exactly?
A lot better than that. This is one of the new Veggietales stories that's coming out.
Okay, this is audio 1. This is where we record. This is Adam. Say hi. He's evidently just been skiing. Tim was the head of story on the movie, Jonah. He's also the voice of Khalil. Say something.
Hello, my traveling buddy.
Can you believe it? It's almost like he's here. And this is the box. This here is, well, it was a meat locker, but we converted it into a recording booth. We now have to store the meat outside when it's cold. But so we get locked in here sometimes for days on end. I was once in here for 12 days without coming out to record stuff. This is Amik Owens. She's the producer of Jonah. She made the whole movie, mostly by herself. A few people helped out on weekends, but it was pretty much all her, right? This is Mark Volcano. He's our animation director. He's the king of the animators. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yes, it's all about me.
That's one of the values we're promoting in our videos. Oh, there's Khalil falling off a cliff of some sort.
They said they were so...
Is that for the outtakes? In live-action filmmaking, outtakes actually produce themselves. In animation, outtakes have to be produced.
In Maya here, I've graphed the Jonah box office results. See, it animates this ball.
So it would appear that we're hopping somewhere. Are we hopping, would you say, better or worse than, say, Shrek hopped?
I haven't graphed Shrek.
This is where we store our bicycles. A lot of people ride their bikes to work here, and of course there has to be a robot to protect them and make sure they don't get stolen, like R2-D2 in episode 2, where he did a very bad job in protecting Princess Amidala from those worm things. But this robot is significantly more effective as a theft deterrent system than R2-D2 was in that film. That's why the bikes are here. This is, look out, lighting, hence the light. You see, because we're funny. That's the sense of humor, the light with, come on. This is a lighter. He just finished his work on Jonah. He was working on Jonah for approximately, 17 months without sleep. So you can go home now. You're coming home. Johnny's coming home. As you can see, we're about to visit our lower level, which is for the most part full of men's and infants. This is an escalator. In some cases, escalators will actually move. This is story and concept. Concept means these people have to think of things that no one has ever thought of before. Have you guys thought of anything today that no one's ever thought of before?
New ideas for Bob and Larry movie.
Really? That's great. And no one's thought of it before? Nope. You're pretty sure? Okay.
It's only on paper.
What's going on? Hey. What are you working on? Oh, that's so cool. So that's like another movie or something that we're working on?
Sure hoping.
We're sure hoping. Now look over here. This is what Chuck does. He can only paint tiny paintings. Chuck is the guy who painted the Last Supper on the head of a pin. And you can see from his detailed work here that, if it's bigger than a postage stamp, he gets completely lost and he doesn't know what to do. This is called a color script. This is for the members of our studio that are illiterate, so they can't actually read a script. They have to go off pictures. These are all of our concept artists and story guys and what they're working on. That may be a problem. We may want to look into that.
Watch this. I just click this little button right there, and this little music box opens up. Now, this is not final lighting or anything like that. This is all very rough.
She doesn't look like a vegetable. What's that all about?
She's a music box little angel.
Okay, so you saw it first here. The first use of non-vegetable performers in a film of any kind by any studio. Right here. What do you do?
I am the design manager for apparel and consumer products.
Did you design this shirt?
I designed this shirt.
See, he only wears his own clothing. It's kind of apparel designers are like that. They refuse to wear anything they did not design. This is a part of the company that we refer to only as Thailand. Although the food isn't as good as if you actually went to Thailand, it's still generally a fun place to come. He's working on, that's a cover for a Penguins video, right?
For a Penguins display.
For a Penguins display. Okay, so it's like a video, but much bigger.
Real big.
Real big. That is cool. There's lots of cool stuff that goes on in here. Some people don't even get chairs because they're so creative that they just, if the chair impedes their creative energy. So what are you doing, sir?
I'm working on the DVD menu for Jonah.
How's it going?
It's going really well. We got really cool stuff, which you've already seen if you're watching the DVD. So
That's right. You're watching the DVD. So the coolness of what the bowing man is doing is self-evident to you. This is Brian with his ukulele.
This is my collection of regrettable food items.
We're called regrettable edibles.
Yep. And we've got pickled pig's lips, and we're not quite sure what this is.
What is?
We don't know. Monkey gland sauce.
Monkey gland sauce. Crocodile jerky. How many jerkies do you have, first of all?
I've got about 8 or 9 jerkies.
8 or 9 jerkies? That's pretty good.
I think I like the tuna jerky.
For dogs, cats, and you. Prairie Belt smoked sausage.
Read the ingredients on the back.
Chicken, pork stomachs, water, pork skins, pork spleens, pork tongue trimmings. What's this all about?
These are new medical scrubs.
Wow.
Made by Dickies.
Wow, and you are the resident Big Idea RN?
I am. And I have Bob and Larry Band-Aids.
We have a finance department because, you know, making movies is not just fun and games. And that's why they're stacking up checks. Where are some of these checks going, do you think?
We got stuff going to Canada. We got stuff going...
We pay Canada?
We pay Canada.
Ooh, this guy has to use more pencils than anyone else on Earth because he has to draw all these things. And this is the actual whale we used in the film. You know, it looks like a big fancy CGI Pixar kind of whale, but it's really, you know, it was a guy with a camcorder, and then this roar. See, and if you move it slowly, it looks bigger. You see that? Because you can tell how big things are by how fast they move. If it moves fast, it must be tiny, like bullets. Very fast, very tiny. Whales, very, well, this is a small whale, but it looks small now, but when it moves like this, it looks huge. Can you say that again?
It's an international hotel soap collection. We have India and China and Italy and
Really?
3 ones from Ireland and Brazil.
What's your favorite soap? Do you love them all equally?
I love them all equally.
You like a good parent?
Yes.
Oh, look, over here we have what we call our peanut gallery. And those are, hey, take off your hat. See, you know, if if you stick your head up beyond a certain point at Big Idea, your hair is automatically shaved off by our security system. And they've both unfortunately made that mistake. What do you have here?
Well, this is the Ducky collection. We did a promotional giveaway.
Promotional
for people.
ducks.
Promotional ducks, and we had to choose the right duck from a collection. This was, we decided was too Ernie.
Too Ernie.
This one was too loud.
Too, oh yes.
Yeah, we decided parents would kill us.
Kill ya.
This one won, and he had the best squeak.
Oh, Bob Elder in our Nashville office.
I promised Bob that I would get him on the film. What's your favorite line of the film?
Croquette is my specialty.
Was it funny? I don't know. I couldn't hear it. Say you've been to MGM Disney Studios in Orlando. You'll know that there's an animation studio where you actually walk out of the back door of the animation studio and you're in a theme park. Now you say, hey, that's pretty cool. Could any animation studio have a sort of situation like that that is any cooler? And you think not. Well, you're wrong, I'd say, because here at Big Idea, when we walk out our back door, we have to push this red button, which is actually kind of a time warp button. We push this button, we open this door, and we're in a mall. Disney has nothing on this. You can be animating one moment, buying candy by the pound the next, or taking a ride on a little train, or going to the food court. We're going back up the escalator now. The average Big Idea animator makes about 200 trips per day by escalator. That's by far the highest escalator trip rate of any animation studio in the world. Okay, now we're coming up to the office of one of the most famous men in America, according to a recent poll in U.S. News and World Report. So this is Mike Naraki, a.k.a. Larry the Cucumber, a.k.a. Jean-Claude the Pea, and Jerry Gord, the Peach, you name it.
Motivational speaker.
That's right, he was also the motivational speaker and the co-writer, co-director, everything of the film. What's your favorite moment in the movie?
Let's see. I like when Larry's duck pops back up out of the water. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Can you do an impression of that?
Okay, let me get ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's real good.
Thank you very much.
Sounds just like him. This is Ron Eddy. He's actually our ice cube man.
Real low today.
He spends a good, 40, 60 hours a week just maintaining the level of our ice cubes.
So I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, well, he considers it a ministry. This is our lunchroom. This is where the people of Big Idea used to have lunch. It doesn't work out so well anymore. You'll notice because it's been taken over by computers. You see, really the history of mankind is the struggle between man and machine. And in this case, it's pretty obvious that the machines have won. We flat out lost because our lunchroom has been entirely taken over by about 500 computers that had to render Jonah. And they're not leaving. They simply refuse to leave. Well, that's the end of the day. We've now spent 12 hours touring Big Idea all over the campus. And this is my office with some art from some little people and some art from some big people and me looking silly. And oh yes, that's me too. Thanks for coming, and I have to go make another movie now. So we'll see you next time.